Well, he adds another scorer for us that I think in some games is desperately needed. I thought his 2 threes today were very important for us. He also took it to the basket a couple of times, and I'm sure he's disappointed with his foul shooting, and he'll continue to work hard at that. But just to get him to the line for 5 fouls is important for us. But I thought in the other part, he was good on offense, but I thought he did, despite the numbers that Munford put up, I thought he did a terrific job. It was one of the late threes, might have been the last 3 that Munford had. He had him in great shape. He overplayed him, didn't let him get the ball, and he just let down for a split second. Munford beat him there. But I thought Munford is a terrific player, and I thought Will did a really good job overall on him to try to hound him.
What do you think Will in terms of the hustle play, diving on the floor for loose balls and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, that's what he can do. He's certainly our fastest guy and maybe our best athlete, in all honesty. And so for him to get loose balls and do a couple of those things that get you an extra possession or save you one, it's really important. So I thought he was terrific today.
Is this the role you had hoped for Will to fulfill when he was selected?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a right-on target question. And we need him to play extremely well all the time. And it's nice to have what we have at that lead guard spot with TJ subbing for him. And now the other night, TJ got a lot more minutes than Will did. Will got a lot more minutes than TJ today, but it's a great twosome for us to have at that point guard spot. And again, as I've oftentimes said, that no one is cheering harder for Will than TJ. When TJ went back in there for Will in the second half, I'm listening to the banter, and Will's going after TJ and saying, you know what, you do a great job in there, and push yourself. I'll be there when you need me, kind of thing. And just, it's great to have those two guys.
Fred Munford gets whistled for a technical foul, and then he picks up his 4th with 6:30 to play, and they have to take him off the floor for stretches so he doesn't pick up the 5th. Can you just talk about how that sort of changed things down the stretch?
Well, I would say it changed it when we went up 11, and then we didn't do a very good job when we were up 11. I thought we had a chance at a defensive rebound that would have stemmed the tide a little bit, us with the ball, and maybe putting more space between us and them. But it certainly, if I were Coach Hurley, I wouldn't have liked to have taken him off the floor for any stretch of time. So I thought he was fabulous today. And the more I looked at film, he's the 2nd leading scorer in the league behind Khalif. And the more I watched, the more impressed I was with his ability to get shots with no time nor space. And then he took the ball to the basket and finished plays. And he had a pretty good competitiveness about him too. I mean, he really wanted to beat us today, and I was very impressed with his game.
Coach, obviously you can only look at the game in front of you, and you can win the conference tournament and make this point moot, but how do you keep it out of your players' heads, this constant first 4 in, last 4 in, the whole NCAA bubble thing that rolls around at this time of year?
Yeah, we never talk about it. There's nothing to talk about. What's to talk about is to play. We've got 3 Rams in front of us. One was today, Fordham Rams on Wednesday, and the VCU Rams on Sunday. It's all we can think about. It's just, we're not, if we were undefeated so far at this point, then maybe we could say to ourselves we're in, but we have nothing other than Fordham to look forward to, and if it works out in the end that we are fortunate enough to make it, then that's what it is. But right now we have to go game by game, and as I've said a number of times, possession by possession. It got very, very tight today, and luckily we found a way to get more points than Rhode Island, but we sure are in need of being more consistent on the defensive end. I didn't really study the numbers. Obviously, they didn't shoot it quite as well in the second half, nor did we. We shot it great in the first half as well, but we need to be a better defensive team.
Brandon, is your team showing a little kind of intestinal food to be able to keep pulling games out like this? Or is it something else?
No, I've said while we have been inconsistent, we have also been very resilient. So I think that there is a resiliency to this group that it's almost like, don't worry, Coach, we're going to get this done, although there have been times where we haven't gotten it done. And I would feel much better about where we are as a team if we would, again, be more consistent. But I do enjoy the resiliency of this particular group.
How's Anthony Lee? Do you expect him to play when?
Yeah, it's a day-to-day thing. I mean, he went through some shoot-around that we had yesterday, went through the shoot-around this morning, just said, you know what, I'm not doing my team any good because this hip pointer is bothering me, so it'll be a day-to-day thing. I'm hoping he'll be ready to go Wednesday, but there's no assurances.
Do you think that affected his play at all a little bit? Did
Affect-
that affect his play in the previous games?
I don't, you know, he had it during the course of the Detroit game. I think he banged it one time too. I mean, we play a very physical sport. It's a contact sport. Oftentimes, you gotta bang people, and you gotta check out, and you gotta raise your arms, and all of those things are bothersome for him at this point. So I certainly don't want to put him in jeopardy of getting hurt anymore. But that'll be up to Anthony and the trainers and Pointer.
You got 40 minutes from earlier tonight, 38 from Randall and 35 from Brown. Can we continue that the rest of the games without be in there? Or you have to...
I don't know. You know, it would have been great to get some more guys some playing time, in particular in the second half. Obviously, we had Pep and Quentin in the game a little bit in the first half, but we need to create a little bit more space between us and the opposition in order for us to do that. So, you know, I don't want to play those guys that many minutes, although we're in a situation now where we will, we have a day off tomorrow. We need that day off. We won't go too crazy on Monday. We won't do a whole lot of contact stuff until we play again on Wednesday. So, but it's not the ideal.
The numbers aren't maybe where you want them to be. Is the defense getting better? Is the effort and the execution getting better? Is Mumford just hit some contested shots and Jordan can do much better?
Well, I appreciate how you're looking at it, and when I watch the film, I'll look at it that way. But as the game is going on, and I looked at the first half stats, and I saw 14 for 28 for them. I'm saying it can't be. They had to shoot 75%. So I don't know where the misses were, but I didn't see many of them. And then I looked at our stat, and we were a couple percentage points ahead of them. I didn't see that either. But once you sit down and watch film and you go over it, and you actually study what it is that you're doing, I hope we're in better spots. And I think that's, with our veteran group, they need to be in better spots. They can't be making any mistakes, the seniors that we have in the game. And I thought we made a couple of those today, although Mumford was unbelievable. And Powell was pretty good in certain stretches as well.
Coach, can you talk about Jake's performance, stepping in and getting the start in place of Anthony Lee?
Yeah, I mean, Jake has really helped us immeasurably throughout the year. He goes for 10 rebounds today, too, which is, I can't say that that's his forte, but to get that many minutes played and then do the job that he did today, he's been a very valuable guy for us this whole year. And he will start on, I don't know if he's going to start on Wednesday. We'll wait and see what's happening with Anthony, but he certainly will start against VCU as well. And he deserved it today, and he deserves it on next Sunday as well.
Any questions?
Thank you.